And they said something about, you know, the strippers in Willing. He said, have you ever seen a stripper? And I said, no. He said, how old are you? I said, 25. No, I was 26. He said, you've never, I said, no. So they said, Thursday night, we're going to the ETC club, because there was a certain stripper there. And I said, so I got permission. My wife said, sure, go ahead. You know? So we went down, and if you remember the ETC club, you came in and you had to walk upstairs. But they had just passed the APCC. And you had to sign in as if you were a member of the club. Well, you know, at 26 years old and being a relatively new faculty member at West Liberty State College, I didn't want to put my name down, David T. Javersak, going to the ETC club. And I was first in line. There were about 5 of us. So I went down and I'm thinking, okay. So I wrote a name. And the guys who came after me saw what I had done, and they did the same thing. And we all wrote the same name. Well, the name was James L. Chapman. Now, for those of you who don't know who James L. Chapman was, he was the president of West Liberty State College. He was as prim and proper as you can imagine. And he was a teetotal, let alone probably never gazing at a... And the guy who was taking the signatures paid no attention until we were at the top of the stairs, and he yelled, "You!" And I said, "Would you guys sign in?" He said, "We're all James L. Chapman." Okay? But you still have those kind. We still have them. You have the. How many of those things are still around? We just changed the technology. Rather than knocking on a door and saying, you know, you send an email message, or you send a text. Well, I don't know, you can Twitter or tweet, I don't know. Okay? But you use that technology. Rather than having, let's say, houses, you have, you know, the doctors don't deliver anymore, but maybe the ladies in the evening do. And it's a whole new ballgame. Now, James Wright. You know James Wright? He was a poet. Grew up in Martins Ferry. Now, my wife taught at Martins Ferry. She likes poets. But I always thought Martins Ferry had got to be one of the worst towns to be a poet in. Unless you're writing about football. But James Wright has a book of poetry called Shall We Gather at the River? Okay. And this is the poem. This is what we're going to end with. And this poem is entitled, "In Response to a Rumor that the oldest whorehouse in Wheeling, West Virginia has been condemned." It's one of my favorite poems. James Wright.